good. Hi, I'm Jake Gray. I'm 21 years old and I'm a professional rodeo entertainer and barrel man. I was born in a small town in South Carolina, Pickens, South Carolina. And my family moved around a lot as a kid, but I consider myself Florida. I grew up a lot in Florida, mainly Ocala, Florida. And currently living in Alabama, but had a big upbringing in Florida down here and just constantly moved around, which I guess taught me a lot about life. I started rodeoing at 12. My dad always did. He rode bulls and was a rodeo clown and fought bulls and bucking horses. And I grew up, my dad had to quit whenever I was born. My mom made him stop. So growing up and always seeing the pictures on the wall, and you hang out and you grow up in that kind of environment and you see everything and it's like cool. And it got to a point where I wanted to do it, and my parents said bull riding was too dangerous, fighting bulls was just dumb, and I decided, they said, you know what, we'll let you be a rodeo clown. You want to be funny? You can be a rodeo clown. So at 12 years old, I got with a bunch of cool dudes that let me do it, and here I am now. Currently working a feedlot in Samson, Alabama. So it's a little small town just outside of Dothan. We're like 8 miles above the Florida line, which is like the most convenient location for one to rodeo. Highways right there, you just get to get on the road and travel. So it's something cool to flex during the week, and then just go hard at it during the weekends trying to get back to doing this.
So do you rodeo full time? If not, what do you do for work?
So the goal, there was a while where I was rodeoing full time, and COVID hit and a lot of stuff happened. And growing up, I'm 21. So growing up and you start to get older and you start to realize the dynamics of life. And wasn't able to do that full time. This year I've currently gotten back to doing it full time. So right now I work on a feedlot during the week, and then on the weekends I'm at places like this here in Arcadia, Florida, doing shows, and hopefully the eventual goal within the next couple of years to get back on the road full time.
How did you end up in Samson, Alabama?
So my dad, that was a big deal when we were kids. He used to go around to a few different jobs here and every once in a while. And then he ended up in Alabama. When I was 18, I moved out, being stupid, not quite knowing, realizing like, I'm 18, I can take on the world, I can do whatever I want, it's fine. And then kind of realized over time that wasn't it. So Dad got a job over there at the same time I moved out at 18. He got a job managing a feedlot. So when it came back around and I kind of realized the whole life thing wasn't working out and I needed a better job, to pay the bills, that's where I went back to.
What do you like to do for fun or hobbies?
For fun and hobbies, this is about it. I enjoy doing a lot of stuff. We go hunting, we go fishing, we do stuff like that during the week. Just kind of paying time off, but a lot of my stuff goes into practice for this. It's what I want to do. This is my life. This is everything. So trying to get back to doing this, you want to work as hard as you can to be better than the next guy. Every moment you sleep is another moment somebody else is working.
Who is your greatest inspiration, either inside or outside the arena? If they're different people, give me one for both.
My greatest inspiration, as far as people go, I've had a lot of good influences in life. My greatest inspiration, as far as a person-wise, is probably me. And a lot of people don't. You think about that as like a cocky or like a confident aspect, but when I was a kid, I didn't always have it the best. I had a lot of medical issues growing up and went through a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff, being 7 years old, you're going through chemo and you're watching all the other kids go play, you get to go to school, you get to do all this other stuff, and here I am sitting in a hospital bed, fighting for my life. So as a kid, I look back at 7-year-old me going, what's he thinking right now? What's this guy doing? So my biggest inspiration is possibly me to keep going, just to know what I've been through, and the future's just untapped and we can just keep going.
That's probably the best answer I've ever gotten on that question. What do you consider your greatest regret and or failure in your career?
My greatest regret, I don't like to regret too much. In the rodeo industry, it's very unforgiving. It's like, you're out here in the arena all the time, you're with these other guys, you're with bulls, there's a lot of stuff, you can't make a lot of mistakes. My biggest regret is getting too much and overthinking. So, being 18 and being this cocky kid, and you want to come in, you want to do all this stuff, and you forget to slow down and take back and look at the aspect of where I'm at. And I feel like I got a little too big for my britches. You know, being a clown, you know, getting in baggies is sometimes a cool thing, but just overlooking the little things that I needed to appreciate more, that's possibly my biggest regret, because it set me back more than it pushed me forward.
And I only ask you that question to ask you the next one. What do you consider your greatest accomplishment in your rodeo career, whether it be a personal victory, whether it be an event victory?
My greatest accomplishment, looking back on everything, is more, you know, stuff I'm continuously, I look at like victories over time. It's like you're moving, you're always progressing, and my greatest victory for myself is knowing that I'm not the same guy I was last year. I'm a whole different person. I'm constantly progressing, constantly moving, so everything's a great victory in my opinion.
That's a great answer. You work for Iron Horse Productions, who produces the Ultimate Team Challenge. Tell us a little bit about it and how did you get into it?
So, the owner of Iron Horse Productions and me, you know, growing up in the industry and growing up down here in South Florida, you get to meet people over time, and me and Dustin Muncie have been friends for like a while. So when it came about 2 years ago, he's like, hey, I've got an idea for an event and I want everybody I know that's locally to be involved. And me at the time, you know, rolling with what I was rolling with, I'm like, shoot, yeah, whatever, I'm ready to go. Let's do whatever you want to do. So I got into it, and it's possibly one of the more opportunistic chances I've ever had, just to know the ceiling's up here. There's no limit to what all we can do in that.
What role do you play at the Ultimate Team Challenge?
So me, I'm the professional rodeo entertainer. So my job the whole time is to keep people involved, keep the crowd involved. So whenever there's a slow moment, whenever we've got, say a bull lays down the chute, a guy has to retie his rope, my job is to keep the crowd to know there's not a soft spot, there's not a lull in the event. We're gonna keep rolling, they're gonna get their money's worth. You gotta think these people, hard-earned, blue-collar people coming, they're paying $20, this much to get in to do this show with their kids, with their families. They wanna have a good time, and we wanna give that to them.
What separates the Ultimate Team Challenge from other events you've worked, good or bad?
The difference in the Ultimate Team Challenge is more of what we do to involve everybody. I love the fact that our format and how we design everything is more not toward, like, catered towards the bull riders, which it is, but it's catered to the people as well. So if you're coming, you're paying a ticket, you're gonna get your money's worth when you come in. We're gonna make sure, I'm gonna be up there dancing with this lady, we're gonna be talking about this kid up in the front row, we're gonna be doing everything to make sure everybody feels included. It's not just know you're not coming to the Ultimate Team Challenge, but you're a part of the Ultimate Team Challenge.
What's your favorite part about the Ultimate Team Challenge?
My favorite part is always, you know, the guys we bring in and the environment it sets. You know, when you've got, rodeo is such an individual sport, but when you bring in these guys and it's an Ultimate Team Challenge, these guys are on a team together, they're working together, they're riding together. They're all, everything you do is a trickle effect into the next guy. So seeing, like, you know, when a guy makes a good ride, these guys are on the back of the chutes hollering because they know that's their teammate, that's what they're doing. So just the environment for the guys that sets the tempo for the entire event.
So what's your ultimate end goal with your rodeo career?
My ultimate end goal is obviously to be, you know, a household name. To be written down as, like, you know, one of the best. And a lot of people don't think about it, but when you get people like me that's in the rodeo industry, you know guys like Liesl Harris, you know guys like Keith Isley, Matt Merritt, Brinson James the Entertainer. These are guys you know. And that's what I want to be. I want my name to be brought up and people be like, oh yeah, I remember him, or yeah, he did this at this event and it was so funny. I want to be one of those guys that, you know, my name can't be brought up in an argument without something nice to say about it. My biggest shout outs, you know, to everybody that backed me along the way. You know, I couldn't do this without them. Granted, it's an individual thing and I've got to go out there and put my all out, but for everybody that sits there and watches me and, you know, sees everything that I do, I want that to be a reflection of them, to know, hey, you had a part in that. And basically to anybody that, you know, being a kid, you grow up, and that's always my favorite question I get from, like, children at events is, you know, or like a mom comes up and my kid wants to be like you. The mainstream deal nowadays is everybody wants to be, you know, you get picked on for being different. And I was always picked on as a kid. I got beat up, bullied, and I mean, that I get that to an extent. Like everybody, you know, everybody has their insecurities and flaws, but at the same time, you know, different sells in this industry, and that's the reason I got in this industry, is because I can be different, and you're looked at on the bright side if you're different. So the mainstream stuff doesn't matter. You just go out there and keep being you and let the chips fall where they may. That's it.
That was easy, huh?
Yeah, felt good.
Fucking killed it.
Felt good, bro.